pretend to be my girlfriend for a couple of months.
Bringing back the memories of late 90s black hip-hop culture and the fanciest flip phones ever, the film opens with the scenes of Alvin Johnson, who is headed towards his part-time job, which is pool cleaning. Alvin is an extremely intelligent geek who's also skilled in designing car engines. Alongside studies, Alvin's pool cleaning is helping him raise money to buy a camshaft, an essential part that completes his puzzle, which is an engine for a scholarship project that will ensure him a full ride to the school of his choice. However, that bouncy afro of Alvin cannot be ignored. Alvin heads to Mrs. Morgan's house for the pool cleaning. She apologizes and tells him to come some other time because her boys are having a huge party in the backyard. Thinking of it as no big deal, Alvin insists on cleaning the pool. Alvin takes the essentials that are required for cleaning the pool and heads toward the backyard. There, he finds a lot of girls partying and swaying their hips to the DJ's hip-hop beats. Awestruck by all the popular kids, Alvin pauses and takes his time to check out everyone. While he's paused, he lays his eyes upon a beautiful girl, Paris Morgan, who shows up in front of him and picks her dog up. The boys standing aside talk behind her back about how out of their league Paris is since she only dates NBA players. Of course, with rare beauty comes some rare standards too. Belonging to a middle-class family, Alvin dreams of hanging out with the popular kids and wants to be the center of attraction among them. From the very first moment, Alvin fantasizes about hanging out with Paris Morgan, who is not only a popular cheerleader but also dating an NBA star, Drew Hilton. Finding it hard to believe, Alvin sees her calling him to kiss her. Alvin, somehow, also walks on top of the pool water and goes close to kiss her. Soon, his bubble pops and he finds himself falling into the pool with a pout. Everyone starts passing mean comments while Paris takes his side and shuts some big boys. Alvin is surely flattered by Paris's gesture. Later that day, Paris and her sidekicks excitedly put on TV to see Drew's interview. Along with other questions, Drew is asked about his relationship status, which he tackles by saying he's a free agent. He doesn't date anybody. This must have broken poor Paris's heart in front of her gals. The next day, Alvin and his friends talk about how Alvin has easily made it to the top 3 to get a scholarship from the lockers. Alvin, on the other hand, is too busy gazing at Paris. Alvin and his friends start comparing her to unique coffee combos and find her munch-worthy. That's just how boys always look at girls. When Alvin finds the girls heading towards their lockers, they quickly run back and hide behind a wall. Tired of hiding from the popular and rich kids, one of Alvin's friends, Walter, decides to walk the hallway and try to blend in with the new pair of designer jeans he's put on. He only appears to make a fool out of himself and break a locker's door. Alvin and Paris rush at the same time to see if Walter's okay. Alvin picks him up and takes him back to the place where they belonged. Alvin and his boys head back to their garage, where they are getting the engine ready for their project. Deep down, Paris is a caring person who doesn't differentiate between the poor and rich. Scenes shift to Alvin's home, where he's seen playing video games on his PC. His father, Clarence, is dancing to a banging beat. His mother calls everyone to drop off their stuff and come to the table for dinner. Everyone starts arguing by pointing out one another's insecurities. Clarence is stunned to find out that his son, Alvin, has collected $1,500 for his engine project. His mom takes the open opportunity to taunt Clarence that, unlike him, their son has gathered money in actual currency and not some food stamps. Agreeing with his wife for once, Clarence appreciates Alvin's devotion and progress in work, but he urges him to start loving because Clarence believes life is meaningless without a loving partner. He starts singing a love song and irritates everyone at the dinner table. Alvin's family surely knows how to throw shades at one another. On the other side, Paris is seen saying her goodbyes to her rich mom, Mrs. Morgan, who is speeding off with her partner. She starts panicking when she sees her SUV parked outside of the garage. Paris, who has all the phones in the house in her hands in case Drew calls her, assures her mother that she will park her car for her. Mrs. Morgan threatens her to not show off in front of her girls and better park her car in the garage. As soon as she leaves, Paris takes the car for a spin with her girls. Paris is definitely up to no good. Paris takes her girls and heads towards Jerry's famous deli. While the girls look for a space to park, Paris's friends find out Drew's calling her. Nervous to talk about his interview, Paris gets her girlfriend's advice before picking up. At first, they start with all the sweet goo-goo talk. Alvin and his friends also happen to come across the same spot. Alvin spots Paris in her expensive SUV and wishes to have an attention-grabbing car like hers. Our boy is surely going to achieve bigger things in life, but now is just not his time. Drew, the cunning NBA player, successfully saves himself from an argument by revealing that he was told to call himself a free agent in the interview because it was a publicity stunt. As things get back to normal, all doubts get cleared out, but a hot girl bangs on Drew's limo. He slides down the mirror and finds the woman with a bottle of champagne in her hand. She says something in a husky voice, which is caught by Paris's ears. She starts fighting with Drew on the phone. Her girlfriends also meddle and distract her while she's driving. Paris ends up hitting her mother's expensive car by the tree trunk in the parking space. Everyone witnesses the crash and circles around Paris's car. Paris is so dead now. If her mother finds out about this, she's going to snap Paris into half. Now, call it a move of fate or not, but Paris goes to the same garage to get her car fixed where Alvin is about to come and pick up his camshaft. Paris is mad that the garage guy is ripping her off by demanding $3,000 in cash in 2 weeks just to get the headlight fixed. He keeps proposing weird and unhelpful deals to Paris since she wasn't insured on her own. Soon, Alvin comes to pick up his $1,500 camshaft and finds Paris weeping with her mother's crashed car. Alvin is smart enough to get the real price of the damaged part of the car out of the garage guy's gut. He reveals that the car can be fixed within $1,500, but he's demanding $3,000 so he can earn 50% profit. Paris wasn't wrong. The guy was ripping her off. Now, love makes people do crazy stuff. The same thing happens in Alvin's case. To win Paris's heart, Alvin proposes to repair the car using the money he had earned for his project, jeopardizing his scholarship opportunity. After a few missteps, Paris eventually pays him back by giving him a $1,500 makeover and agreeing to pretend for 2 weeks that she's dating Alvin. Planned by the gods or not, Alvin's dream of sticking around Paris has come true. Using the perfect opportunity, Alvin then begins to ingratiate himself with the popular crowd. He and Paris grow closer as she shares with him her secret love of music, and he shares with her that he knows how to build car engines. Paris begins to develop feelings for Alvin at the end of their 2-week dating period. She tries to hint that she would like to kiss him. However, Alvin misinterprets her and goes along with their original plan of a public breakup at school. Paris is truly innocent. Her heart must be protected at all costs. Even after the breakup, Alvin continues to grow in popularity, alienating his former nerdy friends and flirting with Paris's friends. Paris is unhappy to realize how shallow and vapid her friends are, and by extension Alvin. Tired of him constantly ditching them in favor of the popular kids, Alvin's friends confront him on the matter. As they try to talk him out, Alvin's sister Aretha overhears their conversation. She comes to realize that Alvin paid Paris to date her, seeing how he has nothing of value after his big makeover. She tells their parents, who attempt to talk to Alvin, but he blows them off. We did not expect Alvin would turn his back this way. At the end of the year on Senior Ditch Day, Paris asks Alvin to hang out as real friends, but a newly egotistical Alvin insults her. They argue and storm off from each other. Drew is also at a party to meet up with Paris, but breaks up with her when he finds out she had been dating Alvin. In an attempt to win Drew back, Paris reveals the truth about her and Alvin to the whole school, and Alvin is immediately ostracized. Now back to being unpopular, Alvin finally realizes he does not have the camshaft for his project. Paris did the right thing. Someone had to put Alvin in his place. Alvin's father Clarence pays for the camshaft, telling Alvin that they will work out a plan later to pay him back, while also explaining to Alvin that he'd supported his sudden transformation because he wanted Alvin to have the same experience as he did while he was in high school, seeing as he was one of the most popular guys at his school. He also admits that he didn't have Alvin's brains or potential, but he's always been proud of his son. With this confidence restored, Alvin builds an engine with the part his dad bought. Alvin's friends push the broken car they had been working on into the garage. They congratulate him on a job well done on completing the engine, but are still angry with him for blowing them off. Alvin sees that their car needs a new engine, so he installs the one he just built to restore their car, telling them to let him have it sometime within the next week so he can present it to the scholarship committee. Alvin's friends forgive him. Alvin should consider himself the luckiest man since his friends stood loyal to him. Together, they all attend a school basketball game where Alvin stands up for his nerd friends against the basketball players. Alvin finally redeems himself in front of everyone and his friends get involved with the popular crowd. Alvin leaves the gymnasium, and as Paris follows him out, she is stopped by True. Paris blows him off and chases after Alvin. They finally kiss and agree to start a real relationship. So true love may stumble in its way, but in the end, it always finds itself back. From the makers of Can't Buy Me Love, Love Don't Cost a Thing is a film that is profound by Black culture in the late 90s. In the movie, from songs to flip phones and afros, everything was neatly presented. The plot of the film was also pretty basic and nothing like an exaggerated sci-fi film. It is a very light and funny film to watch with your friends on reunion nights. It was also surprising seeing Kenan Thompson and Steve Harvey together, since Kenan impersonates Harvey on SNL back and forth. If you're willing to watch something which goes with the flow and doesn't require a lot of your attention, consider watching Love Don't Cost a Thing. It's highly recommended. Please don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe. Comment below what you want to see us work on next.